Hello, my friend. Welcome back. I'm really happy you're here today. Now let me ask you something honestly. Have you ever studied English for months, maybe even years, watched countless YouTube videos, memorized grammar rules, learned hundreds of vocabulary words, but when it's finally time to speak, your mind suddenly goes blank? You know the words, but your mouth freezes. And deep inside, you quietly ask yourself, why can't I speak English fluently? If this feels familiar, then today's episode is for you. Because the truth is, your problem is probably not intelligence, and it's probably not grammar either. The real problem is this. Most people learn English with their eyes, but fluency is built with the mouth. Today I'll show you why speaking feels difficult, and how you can finally train yourself to speak naturally, even if you practice alone at home for just a few minutes every day. So stay with me until the end, because this may completely change the way you practice English forever. Part 1. Your mouth is not trained. Yet let me tell you something important. Speaking English is not only mental, it's physical too. Your tongue, your lips, your jaw, your breathing, all of them must learn new movements, but most learners only train their brains. They study grammar, they read books, they watch videos, but they never train the speaking muscles. That's why many people understand English perfectly, but still cannot speak smoothly. Their brain knows the sentence, but their mouth is not ready. Think about swimming. Imagine reading 100 books about swimming, but never entering the water. What happens the first time you jump in? Your body panics. Not because you are stupid, because your body never practiced the movement. English speaking works the same way. Your mouth has spoken your native language for many years, so naturally, it wants to return to familiar sounds. That's why pronunciation feels strange sometimes. That discomfort is not failure, it's training. Every time you repeat English sounds, your mouth slowly becomes faster, smoother, and more natural. And one day, speaking stops feeling heavy. Part 2. The biggest mistake. English learners make most learners practice English silently. They listen, they watch, they read, but they rarely speak out loud. And this is the biggest mistake. Because fluency is not built inside the head only. It is built through repetition with your real voice. You must train your mouth daily. Even 5 minutes matters. Not passive practice, real speaking practice. Because reading builds knowledge, but speaking builds muscle. Now let me show you a simple system. You can do this alone in your room every day. Step 1. Warm up your mouth before speaking English. Prepare your mouth, relax your lips, stretch your tongue, open your jaw slowly. It may feel silly, but athletes warm up before training too. A relaxed mouth speaks more clearly. Step 2. Speak in front of a mirror. This step is powerful. Stand in front of a mirror. Choose one simple sentence like, I am improving my English every day. Now repeat it slowly. Watch your mouth move. Repeat it again and again. Little by little, English starts feeling more natural inside your body, and your confidence grows automatically. Step 3. Shadow native speakers. This is very important. Do not try to speak fast immediately. Most learners rush too early. Instead, slow everything down. Listen to one short sentence. Repeat it slowly. Focus on the movement of the sound. Where does your tongue go? How do the words connect? Remember, fast speaking comes after slow speaking. Step 4. The fluency loop. Take one sentence. For example, I'm going to improve my English. Now say it in 3 speeds. First, very slowly, then normal speed, then faster, slow, normal, fast. This trains accuracy, rhythm, and automatic speaking together, and this is how fluency is really built. Here's something most learners never realize. Native speakers do not speak word by word. They speak in rhythm. For example, instead of, what are you doing? You often hear, what are you doing? The words connect naturally. English flows like music, and if your English sounds too separate all the time, people understand you, but it doesn't feel natural yet. So practice connected speech daily. Simple phrases like, gonna wanna let me, I don't know. Repeat them slowly first, then naturally, then inside real sentences. This helps your English sound smoother and more flow. Now let's talk about something deeper. Fear. Many learners are afraid to speak, not because they don't know English, but because they are scared of mistakes. What if I sound stupid? What if people laugh? What if my pronunciation is bad? And because of this fear, the voice becomes tense. The mouth freezes. Listen carefully. You do not need perfect English to communicate. You need relaxed English, because confidence does not come before speaking. Confidence comes from speaking. Even imperfect speaking builds fluency. Another big problem: translation. Many learners think in their native language first, then translate into English. This makes speaking very slow. Real fluency is not translation. Real fluency is reaction. When you hear, "I'm starving," your brain should feel hunger immediately, not translate word by word. So from now on, connect English directly to emotions, situations, and real-life experiences. That is how fluent speakers think. Let me tell you something honestly. I still remember the first time I tried speaking English with a stranger. They asked me a very simple question: "What do you do?" Only 4 words. And strangely, my mind froze completely. I knew English. I knew grammar. But nothing came out. Not bad English. Nothing. And that moment taught me something powerful. Knowing English is not the same as speaking English. Speaking requires training under pressure. That changed everything so here's the truth, my friend. You are not bad at English. You simply have not trained speaking correctly yet. That's all. You do not need another 100 videos. You need daily speaking practice. Real practice. Out loud. Even 1 sentence every day matters. So after this episode ends, I want you to say 1 sentence in English out loud. Maybe, "My English is improving every day." Say it slowly, say it clearly, say it confidently. Because every time you speak English, you are building a new version of yourself. Remember this: fluent speakers were once nervous too. They felt embarrassed, they made mistakes, they struggled, but they kept speaking anyway. And slowly, their voice became natural. Your fluency will grow the same way, 1 sentence at a time. Thank you so much for listening today. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and I'll see you in the next episode.